Hello and welcome back everyone. Well, I really hope you're doing great and also keeping fit. Well, we are back again with the next chapter from your Ncert geography book, and we are going to deal with Chapter 6, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Well, in Chapter 5, we had dealt with water, where we have seen the different forms of water, how it is important, and what is water cycle that actually keeps or maintains the water balance on the earth's surface. And needless to say that the other name of water is life, and in actual sense it is keeping all the flora, fauna, and to be precise the biosphere, and helping in maintaining its balance. So if we go deeper into it and we try to evaluate the importance of water, we will see that the different flora, not only the different animals, but the flora and the different other organisms that exist in the ecosystem in our surrounding habitat, they also depend on the existence of water tremendously. All right, and we know that water plays a vital role in also nurturing and maintaining the natural vegetation around us, the green cover around us, right? So there is a close relationship between height and land and the character of vegetation also, because if we see closely, we will see that the places where the regions of the world where water is abundantly available, the natural growth of vegetation is different. It is more luxurious, it is more abundant, it is very thick. But where water is not available or is very scarcely available, there the natural vegetative growth hampers, or we find different kind of vegetation, right? So across the globe, across the world, we have various kind of vegetation, and it depends on not only land and the climate of the region, but also about on the height of the particular land, and of course on the availability of different physical factors. All right, so the climate changes, and the changes as the climate changes with the changing altitude, we find there is a change in the natural vegetation. So what is natural vegetation? The vegetation that we see around us and that grows absolutely naturally without any kind of interference of the human beings are called natural vegetation. The lush green cover that we see when we travel to mountain, or the lush green that we see near to the plain region. So all these are called will be termed as the natural vegetation. All right. So now we will see that the growth of vegetation depends on two factors, temperature and moisture. These two factors are the key factors in determining the growth of any kind of vegetation. It also depends on factors like slope and the thickness of soil. Absolutely, if the soil is thin and the soil cover is not very suitable, then we will not have the luxurious growth of vegetation as we are seeking. Okay, so the type and thickness of natural vegetation varies from place to place because of the variation in these factors. Natural vegetation is generally classified into three broad categories. So what are the three broad categories? First is the forest, second is the grassland, third is the shrubs. So first we will see forest, which grow where temperature and rainfall are plentiful to support a tree cover. Depending upon these factors, dense and open forests are grown. So across West Bengal, and if we go outside West Bengal, needless to say that we have so many forests around which support a large number of flora, fauna and the other animals. So we know what is a forest, we have been through a forest, we have seen the natural beauty of a forest which has a luxurious growth of plant, and it will be available to those regions which is getting ample amount of temperature and rainfall, and that will support the growth of different trees. Okay, so a lot many trees together will form a forest. So it is very obvious that the places which will have a lot of rainfall and the suitable climate will only support these kind of vegetation. Secondly, we will see grassland. It is grown in the region of with moderate rainfall. So now we will see from the highest amount of rainfall, that is the availability of moisture in the air. Again we are coming to the utility or the importance of water in our ecosystem. So starting from the forest, we have seen where we get a lot of rainfall. Second is where the rainfall is moderately available. There we find grasslands. There very big trees cannot be grown, so very tall grasses are grown across these regions. Okay, one of the worth mentioning is savanna grasslands, which is having very tall grasses which can actually help the lions hide, and they are as they receive moderate rainfall and very less rainfall sometimes, that the grasses also turn yellow, and so it is very difficult to find a lion within that. Okay, so it actually becomes a camouflage. All right, so grassland is grown in a place where rainfall is moderate. Thirdly, we are coming to shrubs. They are the thorny shrubs or the small shrubs. They grow in the dry region, so where the rainfall is scanty, very scanty, and where the appropriate with the loss of moisture in the atmosphere, the vegetation that grows there is called the shrubs. Okay, now the changes in the type of natural vegetation occur mainly because of the changes of climatic condition. Now you have clearly understood. In West Bengal we have so many forests in North Bengal, right? We have the Sundarbans, which is a mangrove forest. If you go out of West Bengal, you have so many national parks, right? We have so many forests also. So depending on the temperature and the rainfall conditions of a place, it varies. We will now see the different types of forest and their characteristics. In discussing so, we will see first the tropical evergreen forest. So from the name itself, it's very obvious that these trees belong to the category where they remain green throughout the year, right? So that is the reason they are called the evergreen forest. So these forests are also called the tropical rainforest. As why they are called the tropical rainforest? Because these forests are located near to the tropics. All right. So if we see the world map, we will see that the forests are primarily grown in the geographical area where they are located near to the tropics, either to the Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degree northern hemisphere, or near to the Tropic of near to the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north latitude, and Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degree south latitude. So mainly in these areas. So these regions are hot and receive very heavy rainfall throughout the year. As there is no particular dry season, the trees do not shed their leaves altogether. This is the reason they are called evergreen. Understood. So for these trees there is no particular season where they can shed the leaves. All right. So not all the trees shed their leaves in at one time. So they remain green. This is the reason they are called the evergreen forest. The thick canopies of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest even in the daytime. Hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany are common here. So this is a very interesting part. If you have ever seen in the Discovery or Nat Geo or National Geographic, wherever, about the the selvas or the deep dense tropical forest of the South America, there we will see that the forests, they are actually called the carbon sink of the world. Okay, so why they are called the carbon sink of the world? Because of the heavier concentration of the greenery. Okay, they tend to capture all the carbon particles that float onto the lower atmosphere, or the troposphere. Okay, so whatever harmful emissions from the different CFC gases that float in the lower atmosphere, they tend to absorb all. So that is why they are rightly called the carbon sink of the world. So if we see that closely, if you have ever seen that, then you will find that due to the thick canopy cover, due to the cover of the leaves that we call altogether as canopy, there is a very negligible amount of sunlight that penetrates into the forest. So naturally the forest floor remains very swampy and it is wet or most of the time. So, and due to the availability of a lot of moisture in the form of rainfall, mostly it rains, and there is a particular time in the day where it rains a lot. Okay, and so what happens is, due to the location of these places near to the tropics, it receives a lot of sunlight also. So in this cases, both the factors, that is the temperature and rainfall, both are very high for these particular forest. So we find here the hardwood trees, rosewood, ebony, ironwood, and these trees are very, very tall. Okay, very tall, 30 feet, 40 feet. Their heights are very high. So naturally, it does not, these leaves or the canopy cover do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside. All right. Okay, now we will move to the next category, that is the tropical deciduous forest. These forests are also called the monsoon forest, and they are found mostly in the large part of India, North Australia and Central America. These regions experience seasonal changes. Trees shed their leaves in the dry season to conserve water. The hardwood trees found in this forest are sal, teak, neem and shisham. Hardwood trees are extremely useful for making furniture, transport and constructional materials. Tigers, lions, elephants, langurs, monkeys are the common animals or the mammals of these regions. Okay, so we will see here that the tropical deciduous rainforest actually provide us with a lot of benefits. How? These trees are hardwood and they are mostly used in making furniture and other things for our homes. Okay, they have a seasonal variation and they shed their leaves during the dry season to conserve water or to battle the non-availability of water. So here we find very costly woods like sal, teak, neem and shisham. Okay, and they are also endowed with different fauna or the animal, many animals have their habitats here. They are also called the monsoon forest. Okay, now we will see the third category, that is the temperate evergreen forest. Where are they located? They are located in the mild latitudinal coastal region. They are most commonly found along the eastern margins of the continent, where in the southeast USA, South China, southeast Brazil. They comprise both hard and softwood trees like oak, pine and eucalyptus. So these are found along the fringe or the coastal margins of the continents, which near to the southeast USA, South China and in the southeastern Brazil. Okay, so the children, the number of the name of the different trees that we found in each categories are important. So you need to remember, because question may come in this way that please name two trees found in the tropical evergreen forest or deciduous forest, like that. Next we come to the temperate deciduous forest. As we go higher towards the latitudes, there are more temperate deciduous forests. These are found in the northeastern part of USA, China, New Zealand, Chile and are found in the coastal regions of Western Europe. They shed their leaves in the dry season. The common trees are oak, ash, beech, etc. Deer, foxes, wolves are the animals commonly found here. Birds like pheasants, monals are found here. So these forests are also found along the coastal region where the temperature suits the growth of these kind of trees like oak, ash and beech. Okay, we find different animals also here. All right. Okay, now we will go to the next one, that is the Mediterranean vegetation. Now, we have learned that most of the east and the northeast margins of the continents are covered by temperate evergreen and deciduous trees. The west and the southwest margins of the continents are different. Okay, they have the Mediterranean vegetation. It is mostly found in the areas around the Mediterranean Sea in Europe, Africa and Asia, hence the name. This kind of vegetation is also found outside the actual Mediterranean region in California in the USA, Southwest Africa and parts of Southwest America, Southwest Australia. These regions are marked by dry summers and mild rainy winters. Citrus fruits are like the orange, figs, olives, grapes are commonly cultivated here because people have removed the natural vegetation in order to cultivate what they want to. There is not much wildlife here. So as the name suggests, you can understand that the Mediterranean vegetation will be available near to the Mediterranean Sea in the part of Europe, Asia and Africa as well. But apart from that, they are also found in some fringes in Australia and America also. These regions have a particular characteristic, that is the dry summers and mild rainy winters, which supports the growth of the citrus fruits. Okay, so all the citrus fruits are grown here and they are exported all over the world. These places are famous for their citrus fruit production and it solely happens in this particular climatic regime. So we find orange, figs, olives and grapes here, and though we do not have any kind of much wildlife here to support, because all these are grown in vines, so citrus fruits are mostly grown in vines. So in a vineyard you will hardly find any wildlife. So children, we will stop here as a part of your part one video of the chapter, and I really hope that you go through the book properly, and if you have any query, any question in your mind, please comment and let me know. I'll come with the second part the next day, or it may have a part 3 also as per your need. So if you have any question, please comment and let me know. If you have liked the video, please click on the like button. Those who have not yet subscribed my channel, please do that, and press the bell icon for the further notification. All right, I'll be back with the part 2 portion the next day. Till then, take care. Bye.